号请上来，5号请准备。
Number 4, a useful story. Bugs, as his father called him, was an odd little boy doomed to certain failure right from the start. He was never quite the same as others. Up until 7 years old, he was still waiting the bathing night. He came home from school or play with his pockets full of creatures he had collected along the way. Thus, the nickname Bugs. To his teachers and parents, it was just a lot of trouble. As a hyperactive child, Bugs couldn't sit still for even 1 minute. Whether climbing trees, houses, or class furniture, he was always on the move. He was so prone to accidents and injuries that his father said he didn't think his only son would live past the age of 21. He was almost right. Bugs has been in 5 motorcycle, 5 air, and 5 car accidents. And he has also had an uncountable number of sports and play injuries, resulting in broken bones and scars. After all that 7 surgery, without a doubt, he was doomed to a short life. His whole life was not a good start on life either. Being so short, he was a target for bullies, looking for someone to push around. He became so afraid of people that he hunched over all the time, hoping not to be seen. Worst of all, he had dyslexia, a learning difficulty. Reading was pure torture. Every sentence had to be read several times before he could get the meaning. To encourage reading, his father even paid him to read even 1 page of a book. Even so, Bugs never did finish reading any of his school books. Surely, Bugs was destined to become a nobody. Even if he lived to grow up, life was against him. But just as strongly as life was against him, God was for him. And if God was for him, nothing could stop him. He did grow up to become a successful somebody. And that somebody is known in Macon, not as Bugs, but as Larry, from Immanili English Learning Center, and usually referred to as 戴老师. And now, you know the rest of the story. Thank you.
来，14号请准备。
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm 13. Today, I'm going to tell a story about my pet dog. I had a pet dog a few years ago. I called him Lucky, just because when he became part of my family, I got good grades on my tests. He had big eyes and strong legs. So, he was good at running, swimming, and catching a frisbee. He was a stray dog before I kept him. He was so small and weak then. Therefore, I took him home and saved his life. After that, he was my best friend. Lucky always warmed my heart with his yellow fur and made me happy with his exciting eyes. He was the best friend in my life. He was so wonderful for me. Nevertheless, I still remember. On August 21st, I couldn't find him. I couldn't see him at my home, on the street, even a park near my home. I was so sad then. My mom told me that dogs will leave their home before they die. I didn't believe it. I wasn't in the mood for eating, drinking, and sleeping. I dreamed about him every night. I saw his image on every yellow dog. Several weeks later, I suddenly realized I cheer up myself because I know he didn't want me to be sad. He wanted me to be his host who was very happy. I tell everybody this story. Just want everyone to know. Lucky is my best friend, whether he's dead or alive now. Thanks for your listening.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'd like to share a story about my superstar, Neil Armstrong, with you. I have always dreamed of being able to walk on the moon. In 1969, this dream was realized when an American named Neil Armstrong became the first person to step onto the lunar surface. Neil Armstrong was born in 1930. He grew up during the Second World War. As a young boy, all he wanted to do was fly. On his 16th birthday, he received his pilot's license. After college, he became a test pilot for new aircraft. And then, NASA selected him to be an astronaut. In his first mission, Armstrong had to dock with another vehicle in space. But as the two vehicles came together, they began to roll out of control. Armstrong responded calmly to the first American emergency in space and landed his vehicle safely. So, NASA offered him the greatest challenge of space exploration. They chose him to be the commander on the space exploration on the moon. In 1969, Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin blasted off for the moon on the rocket, Apollo 11. Their rocket took 2 days to travel 384,000 kilometers to reach the moon. People around the world were anxious as they watched television for news of the mission. After the rocket landed safely, Armstrong opened the hatch and stepped out. His first words on the lunar surface were, "That's one small step for man, and one great leap for mankind." When Armstrong retired from NASA, he was the most famous astronaut in the world. Ever since, Neil Armstrong continued to speak about his experience on moon and space exploration. As for me, he is a good example because he made the greatest dream of mankind a reality.